Hey guys, my name is Scoby and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're going to be doing unboxing and first impressions of the Yongnuo 50mm F1.4 lens. I picked this up on AliExpress for €130. I'm really curious to see what it can do in today's video. Let's jump right into this. So for those that are looking for the exact model number, it's the Yongnuo YN 50mm F1.4N. I'll be leaving links to this in the description down below. I'll also try to see if I can find Amazon links to share in the description down below. Everything's affiliate marketed down there to anything I can add it to, so keep that in mind. So looking inside the box, the first thing we get is pretty nice hard foam inside here. There's not too much to this packing material considering it's a pretty light plastic cardboard. The material and foam here seems to really keep the lens protected. And we even get a set of pre-included filters. Now sadly my filter case and box was actually broken. Although my lens seemed to be undamaged inside the box, we get the lens itself. Looking a little bit deeper inside, we get of course some documentation. So in terms of the lens itself, of course we get the lens cap and the back cap here on this. And the eagle eyes among you have probably noticed there is a micro USB cable adapter here on the side that we can actually plug into and update the firmware on the lens. Still a really weird concept to me, however it is nice that we have this so we can update it and improve it in the future. So that's definitely a nice feature to have here. Sadly, there is no micro USB cable included in the box. So taking a closer look at the lens, the first thing that struck me is actually the weight and overall premium feeling of this. It's a very heavy lens, especially coming from the Yongnuo 35mm. It's much heavier in comparison and it seems to be built really well. Overall impressions of the build seem to be nice. Setting this into manual focus and scrolling it, there does seem to be like a little bit of friction and noise here. And we do also get a nice indication here for the focus, which is nice to see, especially on a lens at this price point. So this lens is automatic and manual. Put a little asterisk here and I'll come back to that in a moment. So this will be a nice lens to pick up, especially if you're on the Nikon side and you're looking for a nice 50mm with a 1.4 aperture. So when you have it to the minimum focal distance here, the lens does get a little bit longer. So for the most part, I can't imagine this affects a lot of use cases. However, it is something to keep in mind with this lens, especially if you're shooting in auto, it will slightly shift in and out when you're using it. So sadly, I'm using a Nikon Z50 at the moment, which is the new mirrorless line from Nikon, and I'm using an FTZ adapter. And for some reason, this will not work on automatic on this lens. I've tried updating the firmware through the micro USB port, and sadly, I could not get the lens to work in automatic whatsoever. Working in manual seemed to work just fine, but whenever I tried to push the shutter down in automatic mode, I just seemed to get a bunch of issues and errors. And that's one of the reasons I'm not using the 50mm right now to record this whole voiceover, so I'm just using a different lens instead. So in terms of a full review of sharpness and quality, I am going to be leaving that for a full video, but I am going to be putting some sample shots on screen right now, along with some sample B-roll footage I shot with this 50mm. As mentioned, everything is shot in manual on my Nikon Z50, and overall impressions seem to be pretty good here. With that f1.4, you can get some really nice blurry backgrounds, and the overall quality and sharpness seems to be okay. As mentioned, I will be looking this a little bit further in a full review. I want to experiment with this a little bit longer and see what else I can do with it. Now to mention a little bit further, for people thinking the autofocus might just be broken fully on the lens, it's not. I was able to borrow my friend's Nikon D3400 and it was able to work fully there in automatic mode. So it seems just to be an issue with the FTZ adapter. So if you are using one of the Nikon wireless cameras and wanted to use the FTZ adapter here, you may have some issues with this. Maybe it's possible to fix it with a firmware update, although I'm not too sure about that. I do also have the Yongnuo 35mm F1.8 and that seems to work just fine in automatic and manual with the FTZ adapter. So I'm not sure if it's something specific with this lens. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments down below. So for some reason, it just did not work for me. So overall, for the price, the build and the quality, I'm actually pretty impressed with this for initial impressions. The lens is really hefty and feels really premium to hold. Apart from the fact it's not working automatically with my FTZ adapter, for me that's very annoying. It was one of the features I was hoping to have most. However, overall it's still a pretty nice lens for the price, and again I'll be doing a full review a little bit later and I'll be trying to test out that autofocus again. Hopefully if there's another software or firmware update I can update it here. I'd really like to see that. But anyway guys, that's been my unboxing and first impression of the Yongnuo 50mm F1.4. As mentioned, everything is linked in the description down below, and I will be coming out with a full video of review a little bit later on. So if there's anything specific you'd like to see there, let me know in the comments down below and I'll see what I can get around to. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, check out the other videos on the channel. I'm going to be leaving a link down below to my PayPal if you found these videos helpful and you want to support me. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, as always, keep it saucy. Peace.